Welcome to Revitalize and Replant with Mark Clifton and Mark Hallock, where we equip pastors to take their churches from declining to thriving by pointing them to a new future and a new hope. Join us weekly for encouragement and practical advice in your pastoring journey.
You guys, boy, we've been to church.
Come on.
We have.
Tommy Prophet.
Tommy Prophet, unbelievable. I mean, it's just a whole new generation of him singing.
I'd never even heard of him.
We're sitting down here in my basement, and Jill found it on Spotify, Mrs. C did, and then it's on YouTube. And Tommy Prophet has these amazing videos of old hymns, and we're sitting down here eating lunch and watching them and really realizing, oh, we've got this piddly little podcast, and we were just brought to the throne of glory.
Oh, I know.
These old songs.
Yeah.
We're thinking, okay, let's get back to this little piddly
What are we
podcast.
doing?
So,
We don't even have a theme song.
What are we doing? Our lives?
introduce it, Hurst. Tell us what we're
All right,
talking
this
about.
Revitalize and Replant with Mark Clifton sitting there in whose basement we sit.
Yep.
And there's Mark Hallock, who is taking up half of the space down here.
Sure, he's stressed out on the couch.
He's covering two pieces
He
of
is.
furniture.
I am. I don't apologize. It's great.
I'm Dan Hurst and Kyle Bierman. And
Well, you might want to know, we have these new microphones now that are pinned to our clothes that are Bluetooth, so there's no cords involved.
Yeah.
So we're just laying around, just lounging
A
around.
new day for the podcast.
It's
they're
true.
so sloppy. It's
It is.
unbelievable. Listen, Hallock, I don't know if you did you grow up on, you didn't really grow up
No,
on
I
him.
did. I mean, I grew up singing hymns. In fact, one of the things about the church I grew up in, even though it was a mainline church, is we sang all the same hymns that
True.
Baptists sing.
True. Well, almost.
And so, I mean, yeah, most of them. Most of them,
It's
I would
still,
say.
and still in the mainline denominations, they have their classic hymns.
Yeah. Now, what shifted for real, what it's worth is I remember once I got into high school, they changed the hymnal and they changed the words.
Yeah.
So it became kind of politically
That
correct.
did change. Yeah, I do remember
You know,
that.
not a lot of songs
in
about
the disciples of Christ.
and the disciples,
yeah,
right?
yeah, right.
Not,
But Clifton and I, we grew up just that was our music.
It was, and I've told you guys recently even, I find myself walking around the house singing those old hymns. I sing them all the time. And when I get kind of discouraged and cynical about stuff, I go back and I sing those old hymns. They mean so much in so many ways. And, this isn't a podcast where we go, oh, we like the old hymns. It's a podcast where we say we like the old hymns.
Yeah.
But what sparked this was, we weren't planning on doing this. We saw these, Tommy Prophet, who's a great musical arranger, took these wonderful old hymns that my grandparents sang, your grandparents sang, and didn't change them. If you watch it or listen to it, you can still recognize it. He didn't change them. He didn't add any words to them, but he brought a bit of a more modern understanding, interpretation of it. And you realize how powerful these words are.
Yes.
How, I mean, just amazingly powerful and impactful. And to see a whole nother generation of young people hang on to these words. I mean, I'm going to say it. It's not going to be powerful when I say it, but blessed assurance, Jesus is mine. Oh, what a foretaste of glory divine.
Yeah.
Heir of salvation, purchase of love,
And-
born
and-
of his spirit.
And we were watching the video, for example, the "Were You There?"
Yes, were you
And
there?
they had the choir of kids
singing.
oh, yeah.
Oh,
Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there? Were you there when he rose up from the grave? I mean, we can't lose these.
Yeah.
They were sung 150, 200 years ago, and they'll be sung as the Lord doesn't return 150, 200 years from now, and they will be sung around the throne, I'm convinced.
Yeah.
yeah.
And so we want to talk this afternoon about the importance of singing hymns. And please, guys, don't say, well, we've sung some praise and worship, now we got to sing a hymn.
That's
Sing a hymn. Don't like a hymn is like, well, now we got to sing something we don't really want to sing.
yeah.
And you know the main difference between praise and worship and hymn singing teaches you theology. Praise and worship generally doesn't.
Well, when you say praise and worship, you're talking about the more
The
contemporary.
more contemporary songs that are good songs, don't get me wrong, but they don't majority of songs we hear now in contemporary worship are songs that talk about how I feel about God. Okay? How I feel about God. The majority of hymns, the old hymns, talk about who God is and what God does
Yeah.
and what God's accomplished.
Right.
I feel good about that, but it's not about me. It's about there's power in the blood. It's about blessed assurance. It's about he rose from the grave, you know, and most contemporary songs tend to talk about how I feel and what my emotions are.
Yeah.
And some days I come to church and I don't feel like I have emotion. Now I like Brandon Lake and his music is great, but you know the song where he says, you know, don't fail me, my lungs don't fail me now, and you know there's power in those lungs. There's a line in those lungs. There's a line. You know what? I've come to church on some Sunday mornings. There's no line in my lungs.
Yeah.
And I can't fake it. But on that Sunday, I can stand there and I can sing "When I Survey the Wondrous Cross."
That's right. Yeah.
On which the Prince of Glory
He
died.
died.
My riches, I don't have gain, I count but lost, and pour contempt on all my pride. It doesn't depend on my feelings. And so I think we need to make sure we sing plenty of songs that don't depend on our feelings, but relate to us what God is and who he is and what he does. And also hymns are made, and I'll quit and then you guys can take over. Hymns are made for congregational singing.
Yeah.
They're made for everybody to sing.
That's right.
And oftentimes newer contemporary music, it's made for a praise and worship team to lead, but it's not necessarily easy for a congregation to sing. You'll have some bridges in there that are different and some things that are a little harder to follow. But a hymn, you hear a hymn once or twice, a line of it, you know what it is, and you can sing it from that point on. So it doesn't get distracting. Okay.
Well,
I'm done.
listen. No, it's good. You've hit several of the points.
Go for it.
Let me set this up.
Yeah. It's good.
Because I've been at the time of recording this podcast now, I've been at this church at First Baptist Church of Independence for 8 weeks now. And we have a really good worship team. They're all professional musicians. They've been together for, I think, 8 years. Maybe the youngest one there has been there only for 5 years. These guys play together regularly. They're good. They're tight. They do a great job leading. And one of the things that I appreciate so much is that when we start worship, we stay worshiping. We don't break down. We don't stop down for commercials. You know, we don't stop. You know, we don't shift gears into something that takes us off in a different direction. It's worship. But one of the things that they do is and it's not the same pattern every worship service, but they'll do 2 songs that are a little more contemporary, and then 2 old hymns, and it's amazing to watch. And in our congregation, it's started to grow now, and it's primarily growing we're seeing some younger couples. I say younger, I'm talking about under the age of 40, that are coming in, and it's amazing to me to watch these younger couples. They will sing the hymns. They'll read the words of the more, and these are not people that are from church. I mean, I'm talking about two couples, 2 families that I'm thinking of that just started coming to church.
Wow.
About 4 weeks ago. And they love these old hymns. Now, launch into that, Hallock. Why is that?
Yeah.
Well, man, I mean, there's so many reasons. I mean, here's the deal. Because I'm the anal guy. I want to give 6 reasons why.
And we're going to put these in the show notes.
Okay. Yep.
So we want pastors and music
I think
leaders,
it's important. Yeah.
church leaders, members. You need to know these 6 reasons that old hymns matter.
That's right. And I would say, let me start with number 1. Old hymns connect us to generations of faithful believers.
It's amazing to stand there and sing something. You know, the song "It Is Well With My Soul."
Yeah.
If you go up to North Missouri, to Shelburne Baptist Church out near Trenton and Jamesport, Missouri, little white frame country church with a cemetery next to it. It's where my mom and dad are buried. It's where I'm going to get buried if the Lord doesn't return. My grandparents, my great-grandparents are buried there. My grandmother and grandfather are buried there. And along their graves, next to their graves, are 5 small graves. Beginning in the 1920s through the late 1930s, my grandmother gave birth to 11 children, but 5 of them did not survive in various ways. Some died at age 3 with whooping cough and stuff, but she buried 5 children. At each of those services in that little white frame church, they sang "It Is Well With My Soul."
Wow.
And so every time I hear that, I think of those 5 graves. I think of my grandmother
Yeah.
as she was there burying those 5 children, and my grandfather, and they sang that song, and it meant something to them. And then now it means something to me, and I hear my grandchildren singing that.
Yeah.
There's a connection there generationally that's really powerful. And
That's right.
just like the Psalm. I mean, the believers have read and quoted the Psalm for generations, and there's something about being connected to that
Yes.
through time, and so I think that's important.
And contemporary songs just do not transcend generations. I mean, I think about and I was thinking about this. There was a song called Shout to the Lord. Remember this? Shout to the Lord.
Yeah.
It couldn't have been bigger for about 3 years.
Yeah.
If you went to a church today and they sang that, you'd look at each other and go, what are we, back in 1990?
Yeah.
Like what? I mean, it's almost laughable.
Yeah.
Isn't that it? And we could name a lot of songs that couldn't have been bigger. I could sing
Majesty.
your love forever.
About
Majesty.
Worship His majesty.
And it's not these are bad songs,
We
but
don't sing them anymore.
we don't sing them anymore. We're on to the new thing. But hymns, generation after generation.
And let's
after
be honest,
generation.
there are new hymns being written.
That's
there
right.
are hymns.
Lots of new hymns.
There are.
I mean, Cornerstone.
Yep.
What a great hymn that will be around for hundreds of years if
Yep.
the Lord doesn't return. And while we're talking about hymns, I got to say this: I have 40 relatively new hymnals. I can't remember the name of them. I need to go get one, take a look at it. Anyway, they came from MacArthur's church, so whatever MacArthur's hymnal is, I can't remember
Okay.
what that is. But I've got
Isn't it like Songs of Grace or
Songs
something?
of Grace
Yeah.
or something like that. It includes old hymns and new hymns,
Yep.
like Cornerstone and some of the new Getty songs and new songs by Papa and Boswell. It's these are hymnals, and I got 40 of them that are brand new. And if anybody around here would use them, really use them, I'd be glad to get them to you. So you can message me. I used them for several weeks in a little Sunday night event I was doing here in my county.
Yep.
I wanted to use hymnals, and so I'm done with them, and they're just in my garage. And if someone would like to have these hymnals,
Well, I'm gonna
there's
grab a few of them from you.
40 of them. So
Well, and the thing about it, and you've talked about this, that younger generations are really kind of like interested in these hymnals.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing this at the church also. Now, what we do is we'll say, okay, we're going to sing a hymn. It's number 143 in your hymn book, but we'll also put the words up on the screen.
Right.
The interesting thing is that you'll see the younger people using the hymn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
we've got to bring hymn books back, and we are. The Gettys, they've written a brand new hymn book, and it's just out. I want to encourage you to
The Sing hymnal.
go for the Sing hymnal, man. It is one very well done. And the reason hymnals are important is because you can hold them in your hand.
Yeah.
You can buy them on Amazon and keep it at your home, and you can use it in your home worship, right?
Yep.
Also, you can see the letter, you can see the notes.
Right.
You can learn to sing harmony.
Yes.
You don't see the notes when they just put the words up on the screen.
Yeah.
We've lost a lot when we lost hymnals.
Absolutely.
Holding that in your hand, being able to take it home with you, looking at the notes, all those things are important.
Good word, man.
Hymnals are important. So if you want some hymnals, hit me up. I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So number 1, old hymns connect us to generations of faithful believers. Number 2, old hymns teach rich theology.
They're based on that.
They're based on it. It's like that's the point.
Yep.
Yeah,
Is you're singing doctrine.
exactly.
You're singing truth.
Let me tell you. Are you ready?
Yep.
Buckle up.
Come on.
Buckle up.
Buckle up.
What you sing is what your people will believe.
Ooh, that's good.
I mean, what you sing in church is what they will believe because it's what they will remember.
That's what they're being shaped
Trust
by.
me, it's
Yeah.
what they'll be shaped by.
Yep.
If I hear there's a new kid in town by the Eagles, I'm immediately at Pizza Hut on Nolan Road in Independence, and there is a red cup of Coke in my hand, and there's pizza in front of me, and hopefully my girlfriend is sitting in the booth across from me, and is there a new kid in town is playing on the jukebox, and I am transported immediately from today to 1978, and I can sing every word of that song. God made us so that music is imprinted on our heart and our mind. Use that. Your people, whatever you're singing weekly, that's what they're going to remember. It will shape their theology far more than you think it will.
Absolutely.
They don't remember one particular sermon you said, prayed, or shared, but they'll remember the songs
They
you
will.
sang.
That's
Go
right.
ahead.
Well, what does "I am a friend of Jesus" do for you? He calls me friend. Does that transport you anywhere?
No, not really.
I make fun of those songs. I got to be honest with
You
you.
mean the
Some of
kid songs?
Oh, some of the songs that we sang them in church.
I
I'm
didn't
a
sing
friend
that
of
song.
Jesus. He calls me friend.
I didn't sing
And
that.
we'll sing some of those things. I'm standing there thinking, first, why did we pick that song?
I don't.
And
I
number
don't remember
two,
that song.
it's oh my goodness, some of the shallowest songs.
Well,
we
I
come up with.
remember if the devil doesn't like it, he can set on it.
Yeah, that
Oh,
one
that's
too.
true.
Yeah,
That's
Deep and
true.
Wide.
That's true.
And then you have to sing it with you skip the
Deep
first
and
word,
Wide.
then the second word,
Yeah,
then
you
the
skip
third.
it.
Oh,
I
my
remember
Well,
that.
All right.
that leads us, I think, to number 3, which is old hymns give us words when life is
oh
hard.
man, yeah.
Shallow kind of. I
Doesn't
mean,
give
it
us
doesn't
words.
do anything.
But when life is hard,
you
you
get
go through-
cancer, you lose a spouse, your child's sick and in the hospital. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I don't need a joke of a song to try to make me. Listen, I need truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to remember who
Stability.
God is. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. No question about that.
Number 3.
Well, no, that was number 3.
That was number 3.
But number 4, this is where old hymns remind us the gospel is timeless.
That's right.
Oh my goodness, that's talk about stability.
Yes.
That's
Yep.
it's interesting. In real life, well, not real life. Real life is the wrong term I'm using here. But in life, I was adopted, and one of the big deals of my life was I had no history. My adopted parents, as much as I love them dearly. I love my family dearly, but there's no history there.
Yeah.
I don't know who my birth grandparents are, or where they came from. That sort of thing. I don't know I don't have any history there. In church, you need to have in your spiritual life, you need to have a history.
That's a good word.
It's good, man. I love
You
that.
need to hold on to the faithfulness of those people that went before us. Why did they remain true to the gospel? Hymns tell us about that.
That's a good word. And it can and this generation of much younger, my generation, boomers, we didn't care about history. We liked what we liked. It was all about us, all about our generation. Certainly, kids in their teens and 20s now, even 30s, they want to be connected to something that is not transient, that is permanent, that has been here, that is even ancient.
It's bigger. Yeah, it's
We
bigger than
talked
who they
before
are.
about even your daughter being drawn to
Totally, man.
Anglicanism, and
Yeah.
some young people that I know recently being even drawn to Eastern Orthodoxy. And you ask them why, and a lot of it has to do with the tradition.
That's
It goes back centuries. It's not something that's just new every week I go.
Exactly.
It's like there's something stable here.
And there's a transcendence about it.
There's a transcendence about it.
Very much. This isn't just about me.
And so many times in our contemporary evangelical churches, there's very little
Transcendence.
very
Yeah.
little of that stuff.
Yeah. That's right.
Very little transcendence.
You're getting a little intransient.
We try to be so contemporary
Yeah.
and so immediately relevant
Right.
that
Right.
we lose that sense of transcendence.
Yeah. It's a good word.
It is a good word.
It's a long word.
It worked though. I got it out.
You got it.
Well, I mean, just think about a few. I mean, listen.
And really following up to what we just talking about. May I go on, or
Please, no, go for it. You
I
got
was
it.
just going to say that the gospel is timeless. It gives us history. It gives us roots. It gives us a background that we are not. This isn't something that just was thought of, one or two generations ago. I mean, our history goes back 2,000 years, and so old hymns remind us of that. But here's the great thing: old hymns form mature Christians.
Yes.
You think about that.
Yeah.
I mean, when I listen to some of the songs, and I have to be honest, I love some of the new music that's being written.
Sure.
really.
Yeah.
And I know that some of the new music that's being written will be sung, 50, 100 years from now if the Lord tarries. I know that. Most of it will not.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that a lot of the hymns kind of fit that too. The old hymns, they didn't make it.
Yeah.
But ones that did make it,
Ones that did.
whoa, they gave us something that we can mature in.
They're still there.
And they're part of our maturing process. I ask the Lord all the time to wake me up with a song. I don't know where that came from, but I just started doing that the Lord would give me a song when I wake up. And it's amazing. Usually the song I wake up with is a hymn, an old hymn that somewhere from my past or something. Interestingly, a lot of times it's in Spanish because that's what I grew up with. So there's but those hymns are part of that maturing process.
Yes. Yeah. That's so good. Well, the sixth one, and this ties directly in with this podcast, and I think this is so true. And we talk about this with churches all the time. Old hymns strengthen struggling churches.
They do. They do.
Struggling churches, you think about that.
They need the truth.
They need the truth, man.
They need the optimistic, hopeful truth of the gospel.
Because you'll hear people say, well, don't we need like contemporary music? Isn't that part of our problem? And we need to get a band up there. No, you need the truth.
You need victory in Jesus.
Amen. That's what
you
you
need to know
need.
that there is a fountain filled with blood.
That's
drawn
right.
From Emmanuel's veins.
That's right.
You need to know these things.
And that, oh, God is our help in ages past.
That's right. And we need to know that a mighty fortress is our God.
That's right.
A bulwark. I mean, we need to know these
That's
things.
what we need to
and
know.
And hymns will teach us that and implant that really in our heart.
You know, a great thing that you can do in your church is to have a theme hymn. You know, and not permanently.
Yeah.
But for a season. You know, this season that we're going through, this is our song.
Okay.
This is our march.
We don't have catechisms, most of us in Baptist churches. There's some Baptist churches, they'll do Spurgeon's catechism and some things like that. But historically, we don't do catechisms. Hymns are our catechisms.
Yeah.
That's how we teach theology, is through our hymns. And you would be, listen, church, if you were going to teach a catechism to your children, or even to your adults, you would be very careful about the theology in that catechism you're teaching.
Yeah.
I mean, you would want to look at it with a fine-tooth comb.
Yep.
Hymns are a catechism. You're teaching people theology.
Yes.
Just because it's got a good melody line and it's being popular and you like to sing it, man, if the theology isn't square on, then you're catechizing your people with bad theology.
Yeah.
Not only is that dangerous, but you're going to be held accountable for
Right. Exactly.
in every sense of the word.
That's right. Yep. That's right.
Except for the hymn, Give of Your Best to the Master. That hymn drove me nuts.
You know, there are some hymns that we don't need to sing.
I know, right?
That's one of them. I remember on Jordan's stormy banks I stand and cast a wishful eye to Canaan's fair and happy land where my possessions lie. Actually, Canaan in the Old Testament is not a picture of heaven.
Right.
Okay, and so we got to get rid of that. It's not a picture of heaven.
Yeah.
And so that's a bad theology. So now I'm not just saying just because there's a hymn, it has good theology by any means. But there are some hymns with amazing theology. And those are the ones we link onto. Because hymns are simple and easy to sing and easy to remember. And that's important. And a hymn, if it's got solid theology, it's simple, it's easy to sing, and it's memorable. That's what you want to implant on your people's heart. And you've heard me say before, we had Keith Getty on this podcast a few years ago, and he said in his church, they have a library of songs they sing each year that are about 60, between 50 and 60. They only sing about 50 or 60 songs each year. So they're singing, oftentimes, every 3 or 4 weeks, they're singing the same songs over and over. You don't need to bring up new songs every week to your people. Find a good library of good, solid music.
I agree.
And have them sing those so they become implanted on their hearts. Okay, what else we got?
That's it.
That's it?
That's the 6, man. Those are the big
we're going to end
6.
by singing.
That's good.
Let's sing, Here I Build Mine Ebenezer.
Here I built mine.
That one?
Yeah, I do actually. That would be good. No, I think.
Well, I think you mentioned some good resources. I was going to say, let's point them to some resources. I mean, the Sing hymnal, no question.
Absolutely. The Sing Conference, if
Sing
you go to that, anything by the Gettys, anything by Matt Boswell, anything by Matt Papa, they're at the cutting edge of writing. Their whole purpose is to write hymns that will be around for generations. Hymns that are easy to sing, in keys that are easy to sing, that have solid theology.
Sandra McCracken. Indelible Grace.
Indelible Grace.
Writing really good stuff.
All that
City Light.
City of Light.
City of Light. Is that what it is?
Man, put some of these links in the show notes. If you people are not familiar with Sandy McCracken and City of Light and Matt Boswell,
you need to know
them. These are great people who are writing great hymns right now that your church can really learn from. And man, consider bringing the hymnal back. I mean, you'll make some old people very happy, and some young people have never seen one in church. It'll be kind of something new and different. And finally, lastly, I think we're going to see choirs make a return.
I hope so.
We've lost something when we lost the choir. I think the choir helped people sing. It helped people sing in parts. You could hear the basses, you could hear the tenors, you could hear the sopranos, the altos. So if you were in the congregation, you could kind of learn to sing in parts. And we don't sing in parts anymore. When I was a kid, we sang in parts. Now everything's in harmony, and there's something special about a church that breaks into.
Why do you guys think we lost choirs? Like, what
Hymn
happened
book.
there?
We lost hymn books.
We wanted we wanted a praise band. We wanted that kind of experience, and I think we lost a lot with choirs. One thing, choir gave individuals a chance to participate publicly in worship. They couldn't be in a praise band.
Yep.
For another thing, it helps the congregation sing because people are singing toward them, so it helps them in singing.
But it takes a lot of work.
It takes a lot of work.
And we just weren't willing
By
to
the
pay
way,
price.
I love this. Well, this is a great. I'm looking for a way to end this podcast. Now I've got it. So, 1983, I planted my first church in Independence, Missouri, Blue Springs, Missouri. We were meeting in the elementary school, and we had a little choir because it's 1983. We had a choir. I don't know, 12, 15 people, whatever. And Dan he came to be our worship music leader. And
What was the name of your church?
Castle View Baptist.
Castle View Baptist.
And
okay.
I wanted choir robes because I wanted it to look like a choir. And so we didn't have any money for choir robes. So I put it out at the association newsletter. I would like to have choir robes. First Baptist Grandview, Missouri had gotten brand new choir robes. And so they donated their choir robes to our church, to Castle View Baptist Church. I was so excited. They were going to walk in onto the stage of the middle school auditorium where we had worship, had about 30 or 40 people in worship probably, and maybe 10 or 12 in a choir. I had a pretty good sized choir. And I thought, I'm going to have a choir behind me with choir robes on. It was so cool. And Dan didn't want choir robes. Now, this looks silly. We got a church
Not at that point.
40 people in an elementary school or middle school. We got choir robes, but I wanted a choir robes. Okay, they were green. I remember this to this day. They were light green robes, and they had the collars, but one side was white and the other side was gold.
Right.
So if you flipped it, right? So as Dan standing back there, Dan used to be such a troublemaker. I mean, you have no idea. My father was so worried about me hanging out with you. But as the choir was coming on the stage, Dan stood backstage, and every person that came up, he said, "Oh, you got that on backwards. We're wearing gold today."
No
And so
way.
they would put the gold on. And then the next person, "You got that on backwards. We're wearing white today." And so they put white. So they get out there on the first Sunday and everybody, and they're looking at each other, and all they could do, and they kept flipping it. It's true. They were so upset because he gave every other one the wrong color just to see what would happen. That was what we did. You blew my Sunday. So they're up there taking
So
this
they
movie.
came out. Are you going, what happened?
What happened? I knew what happened. I knew exactly what happened. Dan had done that. All right, that's all we got for today.
I'm really sorry, Mark.
Yeah, you are not.
Thanks for joining us today on Revitalize and Replant with Mark Clifton and Mark Hallock. This podcast is brought to you by the North American Mission Board, where we help dying or struggling churches regain health for the glory of God and the good of their communities. If you found this podcast helpful, don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. To learn more about becoming a Replant pastor or to explore revitalization resources for your church, subscribe to our monthly newsletter at churchreplanters.com.
Hey, man!